Hi there, welcome to some of the latest news on the Noah Presgrove case. Wow, a handful of things going on as of today. Got to do some other coverage later on about a certain eyewitness. It's all going on, it's all kicking off all of a sudden, so we'll get to that bit by bit. Might be shifts and changes in people's tones and attitudes, is what it is in the background, but nevertheless, welcome to those that are watching this live premiere right now, whether it be earlier on or later after this. There will be another video, whether it's out yet or not. I'll have to try and do it if there is time, and if not, there'll be an overlap into the following day. If you haven't already, make sure to catch up on my earlier video that I did. It was a deep focused discussion, shorter video for those that may like shorter ones, so there you go. Top right corner of the screen, if you do want to check it out from earlier, top right, eye symbol, hover over it right now, click, you'll find it there with the playlist of the case and some other videos as well from last night and before. You want to catch last night's video in which Brooke Bounds Carter made her debut appearance in the live chat box of the live premiere. You want to hear what she's got to say about the situation of Caden Pressey and some others bits and bobs along the way. Check out last night's video. Very easy to find on my channel and should be on the eye symbol as well. If you do want to leave your thoughts, comments, reactions to today's videos of right now, leave it under this video in the comment section. You'll also find a pinned comment by me with some additional links if you do want to support this channel. Shout out to the individuals last night for their super chats, super stickers, more so on the live stream that I did, a bonus video on the spot. So Badger Life, I believe, someone else, and Cleo, of course. Cleo showed a lot of support last night with the super chats, super stickers. Very good to see, of course. Now, you might be wondering, what are we doing today? Well, I should already explain it, the title of the video, though if it's a little bit vague, I'll try and give a bit of a backstory right now. We, the people, not quite, people.com, the name of that website. Been doing a few exclusive interviews and coverage in recent time from the Presgrove family, the brother, their point of view, to Jack Newton, best friend, Caleb Newton, father of Jack. Separate interviews talking about the case. And there might be some conflicting points and people may not be too pleased with, what Jack's had to say or Caleb in recent time, but nevertheless, interviews have been conducted with these news groups, medias, whatever you want to call them, people.com. And it's happened once again, but I think this might be more so a summary, how it's worded, the final hours, how many hours exactly, where are we starting from, start point, and where's the end point, 5:15, beyond? Or earlier, 4 in the morning, Monday. What's the start point? 3:30. Things like that. We'll get a better idea. Analyze the text, check for any inconsistencies, any contradictions. If I don't pick up on everything, because I might not, you may. You can leave your comments down below with possible timestamps if you want to add on with any incorrect information or stuff that could be stated as a fact, but really, it's not 100% proven to be a fact just yet. We'll see if this article has an agenda, or if it's balanced, or if it sways in the direction of the majority and what they think about the case and who could be responsible and what caused the situation. For those that are watching this live premiere, you can share your reactions in the live chat box on the right-hand side of the screen. We'll see who shows up tonight, of course. But still on my mind, I'm thinking about another video that I need to get done soon. Yeah, a person wants to reach out, not happened yet. Do a bit of a tease, well, it's not even a teaser, but just show you what I've seen, documenting it, a little attitude shift and tone. I'm gonna be realistic, I'm gonna be straight to the point. It is what it is, tough shit. We'll get to that eventually, but let's focus in on this article right now. I know earlier on I said about map analysis, but I've had to change things about because I forgot about this, and this is more official news. We need to keep up with it and check where things are at. So let's begin reading and analysing. Here we are. The title reads, What We Know About Noah Presgrove's Last Day Alive. Last day, is that Sunday they're referring to, or Monday morning? Interesting. It would have made more sense for it to be final hours, because that's technically where it was. And then there's like a subheading or a quote. Everybody I asked, says Noah's best friend, will tell you a different story. I think we saw that quote last time. So Noah's best friend being Jack Newton saying, everybody I asked will tell you a different story. Everyone? Does that mean those within the case that could be defending one another are telling different stories? No consistency, is there? That's a major issue in this case. You don't know where to start. So When reading this, what we know about Noah Presgrove's last day alive implies that this is coming across like factual based information. What we know sounds confident, but do we really know? Let's begin reading. Published July 25th, 2024. The mystery of what led to the death of 19-year-old Noah Presgrove seems to include more questions than answers. Yeah. Despite the passage of nearly a year since the discovery of his battered, bloodied body beside a highway in rural Oklahoma. Interesting how they describe it as battered, implies a beating. Okay, so this article's kind of assuming already that by being battered means by someone. Interesting language. To say Noah's body was bloodied, was it exactly bloodied? When the key word bloodied doesn't quite correlate to how much blood was there. Was blood missing? Interesting language already. But what has emerged from ongoing investigation as well as public records and interviews with people is a timeline of Noah's final hours leading up to his death in the early morning of September 4th, 2023 on a lonely stretch of the Highway 81 outside of Terrell, Oklahoma. I must have missed that off. The teen was found naked. Not originally then, because Caden Pressey said he was wearing shorts, but after, shorts were removed from the looks of it. But here it just says the teen was naked, with the base of his skull split in two, spine fractured, part of scalp peeled to bone by an 8-inch head wound. He was about a mile from a packed house party that he attended with friends the night before. Yeah, well, he attended that party the night before, started Saturday, went into Sunday, and even Monday, early hours of the morning of Monday. They kind of neglect that, how it's worded here. An autopsy later confirmed that he died of severe blunt force trauma, but his manner of death, homicide, accident or otherwise, is still unknown. Okay. At least they're keeping it out there for debate, at least. Whilst Oklahoma State Police, who are continuing to investigate the death, have told people that they don't believe the Comanche, Oklahoma native was murdered, suspicions and speculation have continued to swirl in his community, muddying some specifics about his final days. His final days, interesting. Like it's a countdown. And considering when we look at the timeline and we think, maybe Saturday, that very first argument was the beginning of the end for Noah Presgrove, how it's worded here, we could establish a possible link. Anyway, that's left his loved ones trying to dig for the truth, family, whilst trying to clear up how he spent his last hours until eventually, hopefully, the moment of his death is revealed. In quotes, somebody knows something, Noah's older brother, Dalen Presgrove, 24 years of age, tells people. Yeah, we've seen that. Family launched own investigation, working with a private investigator known as Kathy Bingham to solve the heartbreaking case. We won't stop until Noah has justice. And there's photos of some of the individuals. Noah's aunt, Robin Smith, on the, is that left? Cousin Ashley Chadwick on the right. Brother Dalen Presgrove stand at the roadside. I think that's correct in saying it in that order. We've seen this as well. Okay. Unless this is one big summary. While some details remain in dispute, so far what the family knows for certain is that Noah, a gifted high school athlete, attended a rollicking Labor Day weekend party at the home of Avery Howard in Terrell, celebrating her 22nd birthday. So that's the first unusual thing that shows up. Avery Howard. To some people, they may be wondering, who's Avery Howard? Basically, Avery Combs, okay? Like Carter Combs. Avery, Carter, sisters. Mother, their mum, is called Stevie Howard. So why is Avery referred to as Howard here? I'll be honest with you, I'm not quite sure. But it wasn't that long ago when I was looking at, previous posts and comments, and I kept seeing when Avery Combs' name was mentioned, or her initials, it said in brackets, AH. Like formerly known as Avery Howard, or at times known as Avery Howard, but most of the time known as Avery Combs. I don't think it's a big deal exactly, but maybe it does stand out to some. What had started as a loose gathering of long-time friends who'd grown up together turned into a much rowdier affair by the night before Noah was found dead. They're making it sound like Sunday. I'm assuming this is Sunday, where the party really kicked in. I think that's how Caden described it himself. So you're saying that this party girl, party host, Avery Combs, 22 years old, invites long-time friends, at least 9 of them. Avery, Carter, Jasmine, Logan, Noah, Caden, Brylan, Jack, and another individual, Isaac maybe. That's like 9 people or so. Might be the odd other name I missed out, apologies. But, okay, long-time friends. Kev links back to when Caden said we used to hang out. Was it in Duncan or Comanche or something? A car park, hanging out, drinking a little bit, and getting to know one another back in the past, etc. Then you got this party where they're meeting up once again at the party, but also going out Sunday morning to work a gas station, supposedly. So it's quite a personal, close party, right? Okay, varying ages in a way, but you all know one another. That sounds quite positive. It sounds quite normal, doesn't it? That get together. But then as soon as Sunday night or evening rolls in and they all get back to the party at some point together, 9 people that know one another, then the remainder come along. 30 to 40 people there in total at some point. Only 9 of them are close friends with one another. So that leaves a big remainder of strangers and friends of friends, right? Why did that additional big portion of people come on over if they weren't invited? Friends of friends, +1s, +2s. Oh, you can tag along and you can tag along. To be honest, if there's 9 people that are close friends with one another and they're having a special get-together party, then they should all trust one another. And if someone's not been invited, then they shouldn't go behind the backs of the party girl then. Or if it was vice versa, the other way around, and there was an understanding that this is a small party, but then suddenly a big wave of others come on in, makes you think. My question is to you, though, let's say 30 to 40 people never went to that party, and it was only the 9 party goers that we know of and those that have been long-time friends. If only 9 people attended that party and it lasted for 4 days and alcohol was still present, would there be the same outcome with Noah or not? That's what I want to know. Your thoughts down below. And, with those 9 people close together, the same 9 or 8, 7 individuals get together again for that party the following weekend, I wonder. Parts of the weekend were spent drinking and hog hunting on his best friend Jack Newton's ATV. I thought it was called a side-by-side, bloody hell. By September 3rd, the number of people at the party had swelled thanks to a social media blast. Right. So it's implying here, the 9 people that were originally attending the party, maybe a few posted stuff on social media, invited others or encouraged locals and those further afar from Texas to come on down. Was everyone in agreement with that? Was Noah aware that was going to happen? Did anyone contest it and say, hey, I thought this was just a small get-together with the people that we know of and are close to. Why are all these other people coming on down? Did anyone contest it? Was anyone frustrated or annoyed? That'd be interesting to know, right? It says here, Jack Newton tells People.com there were at most around 3 dozen attendees, and many of the partygoers, including a group of teens and young adults from Texas, were strangers to Noah and his pals. Noah and his pals. So where does that stand with Jack then? Does Jack know these other groups of teens and young adults from Texas? It sounds like it'd be good to know how many from Texas. Is it 9 people that are all friends with one another, local Oklahoma-based people? And then the remainder, let's say 20, 30 others are from Texas, all of them? It sounds like the amount of strangers outweigh the regulars in a way. If you're dealing with a bit of an imbalance there, it's like 1 against all. So if anything does go wrong, you're kind of outnumbered. Doesn't sound too good, to be honest. And varying age ranges as well. Some may be more vulnerable than others who are older. But they're saying that social media was the causation, the catalyst behind more people coming on down Sunday and intensifying, Sunday being the 3rd, Monday being the 4th. Okay. Noah's sister, Madison Rawlings, 23, who lives in Texas, didn't attend the bash but remembers following the goings-on via social media and was struck that Noah was with some older partiers. In quotes, "I was like, what the heck is he doing?" Rawlings says. That implies that some of Noah Presgrove's family members aren't used to seeing Noah hanging out with much older individuals. It's unusual, it's not normal for Noah to do that, but maybe Noah wasn't aware of what was going to happen. Is that one of the reasons why he wanted to leave? Because he was tired of all these other strangers being around? I wonder. Jack Newton says that he went to sleep at 2 a.m. Well, supposedly that's a lie, but later learned Noah had grabbed the keys to his ATV and gone for a ride with a group before the vehicle somehow tipped over. No one was visibly injured. Yeah, about that. Jack Newton says he went to sleep 2 a.m, Monday morning, the 4th of September. I wish it would give the date. Okay, it would be a lot easier, but I've seen this before. The reason why it's supposedly a lie with what Jack states is because 2 a.m. just so happened to be the same time when the likes of Caden Pressey, another partygoer who was going to sleep. And before he went to sleep, he could see just about everyone else was awake. Upon Caden going to sleep 2 a.m, 43 minutes later, woken up by a phone call from his phone to do with his mom concerned about the cousin. Okay? Was resolved, but nevertheless, it woke Caden up. And in a way, it was a good thing, because 43 minutes later, when woken up at 2:43 a.m, September 4th, Caden said he saw the likes of Noah, Jack Newton, and Jasmine Milan playing beer pong. Dining room, kitchen, somewhere like that. So they were visibly awake. Yet Jack is saying 2 a.m, went to sleep. Caden's saying Jack didn't go to sleep because he was awake at 2 and even awake at 2:43 onwards. So it was a lie. Interesting. If you're awake and conscious and you can visibly see somebody else is awake and conscious too doing activities, then clearly they're not asleep. So when that person over there claims to be sleeping and you've seen that they're awake, why are they lying about going to sleep? To say you've gone asleep can make you more innocent, right? If you've been asleep during the murder of someone, then basically you pretty much ruled out of the case, or most part of it at least, because you weren't there to see it, you weren't there to witness it, to hear it, and you weren't directly involved physically because you were asleep, you were away from the event. So for someone like Jack, who may be caught up in some sticky situations, to say that you were asleep, it can save you. But it just happened that Caden was observant at the time. So by Caden calling out Jack, just based off an observation made at the time, it kind of backs Jack up into a corner in a way. Makes him look bad for lying. Okay? What else do we have? The ATV, the side-by-side situation. Now, I did a poll on my page recently about the possibility that, so 2 a.m, supposedly, Noah decided to have the ATV side-by-side and then it tipped over. And yet previously it's been worded as it happened Sunday night. So it either happened Sunday night or it happened 2 a.m. in the morning of Monday onwards. They can't even get the information correct here. And they're saying that what we know actually happened. This title of the article is stating this, what we're seeing on screen right now, as a fact. This is a terrible... actually, I don't want to get too strong there, but this is really, really dodgy language, wording, title, the title of confidence, certainty, putting all the trust into what Jack says, dismissing Caden Pressey. This is not good. by stating that the side-by-side incident occurred Monday morning, yet countless times previously in the past it's been said Sunday. I think even Jack mentioned it Sunday, yet this article's not even acknowledging that, unless Jack changed it from Sunday to Monday morning and then the article has followed along with that, with the side-by-side tipping gone over. But my original point was, in recent time, why would Noah even get in a side-by-side, and why would some of us tag along? Is it because he's messing about, rebelling, frustrated? Or was he making an attempt to leave the property? You know, if it was Monday, early hours of the morning, was he trying to leave the property? I mean, we've heard from like the likes of Caden, in which Noah approached him and said, could you give me a ride? Caden said, no, I can't, I've been drinking. Even though Caden did say he sobered up by 10:30 p.m. Sunday night. Unless he drunk again afterwards, might be. But Noah supposedly asked a range of different people, even Carter Combs, could I have a lift back? Because he didn't have a vehicle of his own down at the party. He was driven down there like a taxi service. He needed to be taken back. He was dependent on somebody else or some people. Because how else could he get back, especially early hours of the morning? The only other way would be walking, and that's 42 miles back home along a highway. Not practical whatsoever, very dangerous and risky. And even just walking, daytime, still difficult because of the distance, and if your body's not used to it, you could succumb to the environment depending on the weather, the temperatures, etc. So, was it a last-ditch, desperate attempt? Well, if nobody's going to drive me back home, then I'll do it myself. And it just happened that other people wanted to get in as well because they needed a lift back, maybe. Makes you think. So it could either be messing about, and that's what caused the rollover, or that Noah was desperate to get back home, or he just really wanted to. But in the process, he was drunk and he probably wasn't fit to drive. Desperate times, desperate measures. Maybe another reason why it would have benefited him being driven back by somebody else. Now, my question is, those that got into the vehicle with him, who were they and why did they? Why couldn't one of them drive instead of Noah if Noah wasn't fit for driving? Unless they were all pissed and they weren't exactly thinking clearly. Oh, what's this little timeline? September 4th, 3:30 a.m. Noah leaves the party and vanishes, from what Jack said. September 4th, 5:43 a.m. 911 callers spot Noah along the road. That's Tyler. Then 5:53 a.m. the next call, successful one, by Tyler Hardy. Short space of one another, right? September 4th, 6:15 a.m. the probe begins. The probe, when the police came on down and onwards. It's a very limited timeline, isn't it? Very limited. It completely ignores everything that Caden Pressey has said. Why is that then? Why are some of these articles and media outlets just hovering around Jack Newton as the golden poster boy, and everything that's said is taken as gospel? You know what? I think there could be a level of favoritism in the way that the news articles, the media outlets will look, listen and nod their heads to the likes of Jack Newton because Jack Newton is the best friend of Noah Presgrove, and Caden Pressey is just simply a friend. So it's like, well, these news groups could be like, you know what, Jack will look at you more, will listen to you more because you're the best friend, so you're going to know more, you're going to be closer. I don't mean to say exactly, right? Not say that the best friend will know more or is more truthful. A basic person, a stranger, could know more. It depends the situation and the timing of when things happened and who's more knowledgeable and who's seen and heard more. It doesn't always have to be the one in terms of relationship closest to the victim. It could be someone who's more distant, but it's more relevant to them because they were there at the time of when something happened. But I don't know, it's like they're putting Jack on a pedestal and they're ignoring the other people which have talked. Anyway. Noah then returned to Avery's house. Wait, what the fuck? Hold on. Is this continuing on from... Okay, let's just read it from the ATV thing again. So, Later learned Noah had grabbed the keys to his ATV, gone for a ride with a group of people before the vehicle somehow tipped over. No one was injured. Then Noah returned to Avery's house, call it the party house, cleaned himself up and changed into a pair of his best friend's white wrestling shorts, according to what Jack said, who admits that there are conflicting recollections of the night. Is that talking about the other situation with the black shorts? How it's worded here that Noah cleaned himself up. How we've heard it time and time again elsewhere was Noah was assisted by others, escorted to the bathroom, the shower, the toilets, and then possibly hand washed by another guy or some of the girls. How it was worded back then implied that Noah wasn't fit for wear, wasn't fit for walking or even leaving the property. He needed sleep, he needed time to sober up, he was in a vulnerable position. How it's worded here, though, implies that he was fully conscious, able to clean himself and do it successfully, and even change clothes. This is making Noah look less vulnerable, making him look less drunk. So that's a completely different aspect here, which is very interesting. Just a slight change of wording, that he cleaned himself, not that someone cleaned him. Goes a long way, doesn't it? When we've heard something told so often in the alternative way originally. For example, even a simple detail about how Noah got into the shower after the ATV incident isn't totally clear. It's a bit of a mind reader. I was just talking about that before, in a way. But in quotes, everybody I asked, Jack says, will tell you a different story. So everybody will tell a different story about how Noah had a shower, a wash, and how he got from point A to point B. Why would there be so many different stories? It's a simple bloody activity. Did he have a wash? Yes or no? Was he assisted? Yes or no? Was he hand washed by someone else? Yes or no? It's that simple. But if it is stories all over the place, then there must be a big deal about it. Are people embarrassed to admit that they've washed another guy down? They don't want to be accused of being gay? You get what I'm saying? People don't want the credibility or reputation being damaged. But then if it was a girl, you probably wouldn't be labelled the same things as what a guy would be labelled if you used to wash someone of your own gender. You get what I'm saying? Or, besides that silly talk and labelling, the aspect of, like how other people put across, not me, oh, the shower is like some kind of cover-up of cleaning off evidence because what happened to Noah was before the shower, and then the shower was the act of cleaning up after themselves and stuff. But, you know, if kind of a simple event and the stories are all messed up, then what the hell will it be like then with a very significant event? It should be just as messy, if not worse. Jack Newton says he was later told that after showering, Noah became disgruntled by disagreement with two female friends who felt he had gotten too close to them. Who felt he had got too close to them. So Jack, it implies here that Jack felt that Noah got too close to the two female friends, Carter Combs, Avery Combs. Carter Combs' girlfriend to Jack Newton being the boyfriend. So you can understand, you're getting a bit too close to my girlfriend, hands off. Oh, I want to sleep in your bedroom. Get away. That's my excess, not you. You're not the boyfriend, I am. You know, it's kind of like that. Maybe a bit of jealousy, a bit of insecurity, but also a bit of defensiveness, you know. You don't want your best friend sleeping with your girlfriend. It's just a bit weird, that, isn't it? So you'd probably get up your back or, what the hell, I don't know what you call it, to be honest. Put your back up the wall or something. I forgot the damn saying, but it would probably make you a bit annoyed, a bit frustrated, a bit uncertain. In terms of the Avery situation, I don't know why Jack would be concerned if Noah was getting too close to Avery when Jack isn't with Avery. If Noah was actually with Avery in the past, then what's it got to do with Jack then? Yeah, a little bit weird there. But the whole thing about Noah becoming disgruntled by a disagreement, it's so vague, it's not even mentioning exactly what it was to do with. Like how it's been mentioned previously, I'm not quite sure if Jack's mentioned it himself, maybe he did briefly, to do with sleeping arrangements and wanting to sleep in one of the girls' bedrooms, right? We've heard that time and time again. Noah didn't get what he wanted, so supposedly got angry, frustrated. Would a person normally get angry and frustrated if they're denied access into a girl's bedroom? I mean, everyone's different and everybody reacts differently, but I think most part of it, people would be like, oh, damn it, and then just move away. But like to get really angry seems a bit over the top. But take in mind, right, emotional time, levels, the body, the age factor, and most importantly, alcohol. If you're drunk, sometimes you can overreact and get a little bit over emotional. Depends how you react to alcohol compared to when you're sober. Okay? It's like if someone said you're fat and someone was drunk, they could end up crying. If they were sober and someone said you're fat, they'd probably say, yeah, whatever. You can react differently depending if you're drunk or not. So that might have been the difference with Noah. Jack says Jack says he was later told that after showering, Noah became... Yeah, we saw that, but I don't know why I didn't scroll down. I'm going to go cool off, Noah apparently told another one of his friends, according to a version of events later relayed to Jack. So, even though Jack does a lot of talking and then other people get told stuff by Jack and then relay it themselves, Jack has also been told things from other partygoers who's relayed it to others. So it's like a bloody human centipede, isn't it? Oh boy. So who are those people that relayed info onto Jack then? Who are those people exactly? And why is it so vague, this article, if it's about confidence and certainty? Weird. Noah saying, I'm going to cool off. Well, that would imply that Noah is taking a break away from the party. Maybe going outside. A breather, like what he did earlier, the night before supposedly. But this time round, didn't return back. May have been taken out on site, on property, a bit further away, out of sight. Interesting, right? Going to cool off, which means the person intends on returning back normally, but didn't this time round. And he said that to another friend. But who was that other friend then? I've not heard much. What else? One fact that seems to be undisputed is that Noah walked out the door around 3:30 a.m. after slipping into two mismatched shoes. He was never seen alive again. I mean, is it a fact, 3:30? I mean, I've used it a lot, and that's, as I've said, it's just not really been counted. So as I say, undisputed here, I guess that's true to an extent. It's not really been counted. People could say it's not exactly true, or Jack's lied before, so what is the truth here? Not exactly, but I've not seen any alternative times. 3:41, Jasmine Milan publicly did that announcement that on the Snapchat, Noah's missing. So Noah must have been away from the party itself before 3:41. At 3:30, maybe. It can reinforce that, in my opinion. 10-11 minute time difference. And this is the thing. You got the party, you got the party house, and then you got the property land. So Noah may have walked away at 3:30. Did he walk away from the party itself? That would mean, distancing oneself from where the party's taking place, but you could still be on the property land, outside, in a different building, cooling off. Or did you straight up leave the party and you left the house and you've left the property land? So that would mean probably going onto the highway on foot. Doesn't seem likely. If Noah truly was going to cool off, like how he may have done earlier the day before, and he was intending on returning back but never had the opportunity to do so, could mean he was ambushed on site, away from the party, missing from the party, but not missing from the property land. Okay? From Jasmine Milan's point of view, well, Noah's missing from the house, missing from inside, missing from the party. But if he is nowhere to be seen inside the house, but he is somewhere to be found outside of the house in the darkness amongst the fields or near one of the dirt roads, he's not really missing from the property, he's just missing from the party. You get what I'm saying? There's a difference in language there. People don't really go into that exactly, but I thought I'd just mention it right now, okay? Says here, quotes, "Their house is damn near half a mile from the road," says Jack. "Nobody expected him to walk to the highway. But how else do you expect him to get back home when he was asking people for a lift back and no one would give him a lift? How else is he supposed to get back, right?" By 3:41 a.m, a party goer posted on Snapchat. I think I've spoken ahead of time because, I'm not looking at the screen when I'm doing talking, I'm using my mind, and it just so happens that what I said before is mentioned here. Jasmine Milan, well, Noah's missing. 2 hours later at 5:43 a.m, 2 motorists on highway. Yeah, reported in seeing a body on the side of the road. Truckers. Well, one in a white semi and the other one in the F-150 pickup. The sun hadn't yet crested the horizon when authorities arrived at the roadside around 6:15 a.m. and discovered Noah's body, which they covered with a sheet. Caden was going to cover the body with a towel earlier on around 5:20, but was ordered to leave at 5:30 by another person earlier. Anyway, remnants of one of his shattered teeth along with a silver-plated chain necklace from his grandmother lay scattered on the highway. So, as it's mentioned here, they seem to be confirming that that chain was the necklace that Noah wore at the party. Why was it still on Noah though? Since the shorts were taken away, maybe some other bits and bobs, why was the chain remaining? I thought someone could have taken it away as like an opportunity. Oh, here's some valuable, we'll take it. Law enforcement initially believed Noah was killed in some sort of road accident, possibly hit and run. After examination, closer, questions, suspicions only grew, so it was kind of ruled out. It was ruled out basically. Some people there. What's this? Noah something. Be my voice, justice for Noah. Where's that located? Protesters in Duncan, Oklahoma wave signs on May 15th. Attention. Okay. Right. And last but not least, some 10 months later, answers are elusive, spurring Noah's family to urge others to come forwards. Plea repeated during recent demonstrations in southern Oklahoma. We've had other people hit before, and we can recreate it and make sense, says Jefferson County, Jeremiah Wilson, who was one of the first responders. Not exactly first on scene though, it was Jimmy Williams that got there first, then at 6:25 or so, Jeremiah got there. This whole situation didn't sit well with me. What Jeremiah says doesn't sit well with me. Is that it? Oh my God, that's it, really? After reading that article, very disappointing, bit one-sided, bit biased, favoritism, a little bit of different language and wording used from like the shower situation to Avery's last name, different. Weird. The title was saying, what we know of. What we know of? I don't think so, because we have different ideas or realities of what supposedly went on from what other people have said about the time, from like Ken Press's point of view, Justin Roy and his family that were down there. Why has that been neglected, and why has only Jack Newton been acknowledged by some of these news groups and media outlets? Is it just because the others haven't reached out themselves or didn't want to, or not in the right frame of mind to do so? I don't know. But it's kind of one of those things that just because Jack Newton is the best friend to Noah, these news and media groups seem to think that Jack knows it all, or whatever Jack says is gospel and the truth, and forget what Caden says or thinks because, oh, he's just a friend and not a best friend, so he's not going to know everything. I think that's a bit unfair in a way, to be honest. So, have we learned anything new from this article? Not really. But, in terms of how things were worded, it could make you question things back then about the shower situation and the condition Noah was in, and the timing of the side-by-side. Either it happened Sunday night, but in this article, now it's saying it happened Monday morning. Unless it's poorly worded once again that Jack was asleep 2 a.m, even though that's supposedly a lie, and unaware of the side-by-side being taken, the keys, by Noah. But you're assuming that how it was worded there, he was asleep, and that's when it happened. And it was only after when he woke up, that's when he ended up finding out about what previously happened. That would imply Monday morning. But as we've seen, as what we've heard, many times it was Sunday, but now it's mentioned Monday. Why is it so difficult? It shouldn't be that hard. It either happened at this time or that time, on that day, or the day after, or the day before. but it's a bit of a silly mess. Disappointed, but this needed to be covered, okay? It's not like a shiny, glamoury video, but still it's quite rough and rugged, just like how it was written up. Be sure to let me know your thoughts. Did you notice any other contradictions, misinformation? Leave it down below under this video. I've done other articles and reviews previously and with other cases too, and the more you do with time, the easier it gets to look at and remember stuff, and the more you learn about the case. So might be a bit amateur at the moment, but it'll build with time. I want to try and get to another video shortly. It'll be even shorter, but it's just as important, supposedly, to a certain eyewitness. So thanks for watching this one. Be on the lookout for any other videos, and feel free to catch up with my earlier one. Good night for now.